Antonio Reeves had 21 points, 18 of them in the second half. That is his 7th 20-point game of the season. Kentucky will wrap up the home schedule Wednesday at 7 p.m. as the Wildcats host Vanderbilt. The senior night game will be televised on the SEC network. And for Jacob Toppin, his 7th double-double of the season, 2nd game in a row. And Coach Calipari's on the way.
Open it up straight to questions. Please raise your hand.
And I'll point to you.
Cal, you guys have really been kind of in control of most of these games at some point or throughout, and then you've talked about it, kind of let the other team come back. Did this feel like finally, I mean, obviously you're up 40, like dropping the hammer, a complete performance, I guess?
Well, having CJ back gave us minutes. Now, you may look and say he only played 6 minutes. That's a lot of minutes for someone that's playing 40 minutes. The other guy that they talked about, they said, Chris had foul trouble and you played a due. How good did he play? I mean, he played good. Difference for us was we made threes. When you go 0 for 11 from the three and still win the game, you're pretty lucky. But we make threes, we can stretch things out a little bit, and we made threes today. We still rebound the ball. We defended great. We're getting better. You know, the thing I talked about, like what areas can we get better at this time of the year? You're only going to get 1% better in certain areas. But confidence, individual confidence can really grow. And that is, you do it in practice, you get in a game and you perform, you have a ball playing. But the biggest thing is, you got to trust all your teammates are on the same page so that you can be a risk taker, you can make some plays, you can be aggressive because your teammates are behind you. And they also know and trust that whatever the game plan is, everybody's locked in. Our shoot-arounds right now are 30 minutes. 30. These dudes are locked in. Bang, and then we go. But look, that's a good team. They got size. They got guard play. I think the size of our guards probably bothered them a little bit. But they're good. I mean, you know, they're a team that can score in bunches and can get you on defense, and they're good. Yes.
You've talked about Jacob making use of that great physical skill in the 40-inch vertical and all that this season. When do you think it started to click for him to have this kind of rebounding effort?
LSU. Was it the LSU game? Yeah, he started. But I just slapped him and said, I'm not letting you back up. Just know. Like, I'm on him in the game now because he'll like to try to take his foot off the gas and act hurt. And I'm like, are you hurt? You need to come out? Your body language affects us. And he is playing so well. I'm just saying, why would you want to be that other guy? This guy, he's one of the best players in the country. Oscar, can you see he's getting his confidence back? He was out. We were trying to make do. Kaysen's getting better and better. Still has 1 or 2 screw-ups. But I'm fine with it because he does so many other things. Yes.
John, how close do you feel all of your guys are on the confidence level and the whole trusting each other? How close are you?
We're on that rise. And at this time of the year, you're trying to have them empowered. They're calling plays in huddles now. Kaysen saying, why don't we do this? Boom. The minute they say that to me, I go, let's do it, because it's off my plate and now it's on their plate to make it work. And I want that. And defensively, the same. You know, we talked about changing and they went, no, let us keep playing this way. Fine, let's go. So you want them empowered, you want them confident, but just as important, you want them to have a ball playing. Even when it gets rough and the other team makes a run, you got to have a ball playing basketball, especially this time of the year, because you don't want it to end. Refuse to lose. Doesn't mean you're winning every game. It means your mentality of how you're playing. You never stop. The clock may run out on you, but you just keep coming. And these guys are embodying that right now. Yes.
Hey, Cal, not to kind of maybe go back to the first question too much, but you know, you have mentioned a lot about not letting the other team get back in games when you get these double-digit leads. Did you think today not letting that happen is a sign of growth and maturity of this team, especially heading in these final couple of regular season games?
But we were up 25. It wasn't 10, 12.
Well, no, but you
Those
were only
other
up. You were
games
only
were-
up 15 there early in the second half, and you know, Florida, they came back and made it interesting. Took the lead at halftime.
We've been showing them the tape. We've been watching. And we said, why this, why that? So I got a very intelligent team, smart team. You know, they're getting it. But you got to be confident. You know what you got to make? Free throws. You know what you got to make? An open shot. That's a dagger. You know what you got to get? A tough rebound and throw it ahead and make that three. That's a dagger. And we kept running today. I mean, we didn't stop. We wanted this game to be fast. It's how we play. Offensively, you know, I can't imagine we're not in the top 10 in the country offensively, how we're playing, and they're getting it. Yes.
Coach, you talked about hitting shots, hitting threes. Antonio hit so many of those today and seemed to really get going. But it was just 4 or 5 games ago. You mentioned there was a game you couldn't play him because of the way he was playing on defense. And
It was
seemed
Florida.
like he
What
showed up
happened
today.
in the Florida game? He got beat how?
Backdoors.
For layups. You know what he didn't do against Florida the second time? He did not get beat backdoor. And he looked at me and I looked at him and we just both smiled like they were trying. And that's what I'm talking about, confidence defensively. You think that I'm talking about just shooting the ball and just let it go. No, I'm talking about confidence rebounding the ball, confidence on defense, confidence flying up the floor even if you don't think you're going to get the ball, that you're confident if you are open, you're going to get it. You're never jogging. Confident that you're a playmaker and you're not going to charge or throw it away. Again, today we didn't have many open court turnovers. They convert better than any team in the country if you turn it over live ball turnovers. So we're getting better. A couple more. Yes.
After the South Carolina game and even the Georgia game, I mean, it was assumed that the guys were pretty low. How different is the locker room the last week or so compared to those times?
You know, there's 2 things when you're coaching. One, you got to hold them accountable. Like you got to, no. You say no. You got to hold them accountable. But you're juggling balls because you also got to build them up. But if you just agree, yeah, you're fine, just keep, so you got to hold them accountable, challenge them, get them to think in terms of getting better. And the whole thing, though, all we talked about is winning today, winning today's practice. We gave out awards every practice. We just stayed in the moment. They just told, I know we play Vanderbilt because they just told me next. I don't know who we're playing next. Now I know Vandy. That's all I know, and that's what I'm focused on. So trying to get those guys to stay in the moment. And then the other thing is, you know, what anybody is saying, you don't have to read it, look at it. I said it. People tried to talk us out of the NCAA tournament. They tried. They're out. They're done. They're awful. They're this. They can't. You play yourself in or play yourself out. And it's really never over when you have a tournament that has an automatic bid. So everybody in our league still has a chance to get in. But I just kept convincing them you can't, what they say has no effect on what we're about to do. And again, I always say, is it their opinion or their hope? They giving you their opinion or their hope? Kind of know what it is, but go ahead, last one.
The spike you've had in offensive rebounding, how much of offensive rebounding is just pure effort versus everything?
It is. It's angles. It's wedging. How about this? There's things that are rated every game. One, sprints. You get graded an A, B, C, D, or F. Every time the ball changes, defense, offense, you sprinting. We also grade offensive and defensive rebound attempts. Who do you think's the highest on our team? Oscar. Who is the second highest on our team? Chris. Wow. Because he attempts so much, he gets a chance to rebound. We also grade weak side defense. So when the game ends, they are graded on every possession they're in, again, to hold them accountable. And, they're really listening and following game plans. We're not breaking down, and especially defensively, where it was ugly for a while. We're just, we're getting better. And I'm happy for these guys. And you know what else? I'm just so happy for our fans that we're promoting and pushing. And I mean, that building was packed. You don't think that has an impact on the game? It absolutely does have an impact on the game. And so now we go to Florida. What do you think they're yelling at the end of the game? Go Big Blue, louder than their fans. And it's our fans on the road. And I'm just happy for the fans who were so patient and were so supportive. I mean, and I'm saying this to everybody, you can stop sending me letters now and cards. I got a stack of them. Everybody, I'm fine. I'm good. I mean, it's none of it. I say it, I got bazooka holes in my body. You think a bullet or an arrow, it doesn't hit skin. I'm just trying to worry about them. And if I felt bad, you asked me about Georgia and South Carolina, and I felt awful after those games. My first thought is, if I feel this way, how do my players feel? And then I got to go back and get out of my own self's way and say, let me be about them. And but they're coming together. They trust each other. Now we got another tough game. I mean, Vandy's playing as well as anybody in our league. They are. So we'll have another tough game to play, and hopefully we have the same kind of crowd. When is the game? Wednesday at 7? We'll see. One more. Let me go do radio, folks. Thank you.